Preaching is for the ones who have been called, those who are ready, those who are eager, those who believe in truth, those who understand the gospel, those who want to prepare themselves and those around them for everlasting life. There are too many preachers that are looking to get paid. That is their primary focus. It is not to feed God's flock, those who need to be led properly, those who need to understand how critical it is to serve Christ and how detrimental it is for those preachers that are not preaching the message of the cross, the message of salvation. In the book of 1 Corinthians, in chapter 9, verse 27, Paul wrote a verse here that was strong, a verse that preachers should know. No, I strike a blow to my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached to others, I myself will not be disqualified for the prize. So Paul understood how important it was to preach the truth, regardless of how others may not like the truth or the way it may come across or the subjects that he was talking about. There are those preachers in society, and they want to water down messages. They don't want to touch certain subjects as they're afraid, not of Christ, but of people. They may lose members. They may lose friendships. They may even lose their position as a preacher. So they tread carefully with preaching. And you have preachers today that want to skirt around the truth, staying in subjects that will not produce righteous fruit. So what Paul is saying here in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 27, is that he wanted to make sure consistently that he is doing what Christ wanted him to do. Whether he had to strike his physical body over and over again to make sure he is delivering on God's message. This is so important for preachers to preach the truth. And if you don't preach the truth, you may get away with it at your church or some other setting, but you will not get away with it with God. So all that preaching and all that money that you have made, for whatever those reasons were, you will be disqualified. So there is no real use to run this race as a preacher if you can't deliver on God's word. It's time for preachers to look past a paycheck or a position and preach in every direction, whether it hurts or not. This is God's word. And the message of God's word must be shared at great lengths. It's going to sting. It's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. And people will become angry. You may lose friends. You may lose multiple things, even your position. Even if you have to go to a different church or some other means to preach the truth. If you're preaching to not be qualified for the prize, then a paycheck and a position is not worth losing your soul. The time is right now to put your soul on the spiritual and narrow path, the path of light, the path of salvation, the path of eternity, to be in the presence of the Lord.